Happy Saturday, folks, and welcome to a weekend market intel brief here at Top Gun Options. My name is Matthew Buckley. My call sign is Whiz. Spent a couple days this week up in our nation's capital, meeting with lawmakers, leaders, trying to get them to pitch into the fight to save and change veterans' lives. It was really interesting, folks. I'm going to give you a debrief here because can be frustrating, but let me just get to the brief. So finally met my other brother from another mother, Congressman Morgan Luttrell, obviously Marcus Luttrell's brother, also a Navy SEAL, man, and he creeps me out. He looks like Marcus and he talks like Marcus. I walked in his office. He gave me a hug. He's like, Whiz, we're best friends, and I haven't even met you yet. So it was great meeting him. What an honor. He is also a guy who has sat with the medicine. He went to the mission within, and we were laughing because he said, Whiz, sounds like you and I had the same experience, man, an exorcism. I'm like, yeah, but the best exorcism we could have received. Congressman Zinke, another Navy SEAL who's in Congress. He was also President Trump's Secretary of the Interior, so got to brief with him, meet with him. Great dude, great American, and put in the work. Juliana Mercer, Marine, Afghanistan, and Iraq. That's the CEO of the Psychedelic Medicine Coalition. That's Melissa. And then Sarko's, he's an active duty police lieutenant from north of Boston who has gone through an MDMA, officially a federal program to do MDMA. He's an active police officer, and obviously Justin Lepre from Heroic Path to Light. So that was day two. Day one, also meeting with some great congressmen, Simpson right there, and Diaz Balart from down outside of Miami, and then obviously meeting with the Speaker of the House. The Speaker of the House, one of his senior staffers, and got to brief him as well, and also Representative Hudson. So, what's going on? There's no such thing as coincidence, right? I call him God winks. God ain't no coincidence, man. God winks. I got out of my Uber right in front of the Longworth building, and I went left to left with a 2-star Ukrainian general. You can't make this up, right? That was interesting to kick this off, right? Because here this dude is leaving that building with a shit ton of money and probably promises for a shit ton more of money. What did I leave with? Well, hope, right? So our lawmakers, our leaders have no problem sending tens of billions of dollars to the other side of the planet to turn human beings into hair, teeth, and eyeballs. But taking care of our own veterans is kind of is like an issue. I'm not going to name the lawmaker because the name doesn't matter. The attitude does. You ready for this? So sitting with a congressman, and I phrased it like that. I'm like, hey, man, because what do you guys ask for? $100 million for psychedelic assisted therapy research, VA and a couple other agencies that could use it to break ground. He's like, oh, that's a lot of money. And I was like, seriously? And then I gave my little Ukraine pitch, and he talk about being disconnected. It is a swamp, folks. That beltway, it's a different world, right? He's like, don't talk like that. He's like, in this room and, amongst friends here, I'm going to let you know, don't talk like that to appropriators. Don't talk to that like that to the money folks up here. That might play with we the people. I'm like, what the fuck? Excuse me? We the people pay taxes, dude. Let me give you a civics lesson since you've been here a little. Here's what his point was. He was like, well, it's different pots of money. The money to Ukraine's a national security pot of money and that blah, blah, blah. Hey, whoa. I go, dude, there's not, beside the Marine Corps, there isn't any military service that is hitting their recruiting goals. You know why? The number one recruitment source for the United States military for generations has been who? Me. Veterans. We tell our kids, go serve your country. Guess what? We're not. We see how this government treats their veterans. We see how this government surrenders in the middle of the night and retreats from our allies in Afghanistan. We see inching closer to World War III. We can't send this. It'll be World War III. We can't send tanks. It's World War III. We can't send fighters. And Mumbles McShitty Pants is stumbling us into World War III. You want to talk about a national security issue? We can't even man the United States military, Congressman. This is a national security issue, and fuck you and your national security issue. How about 22 to 44 veterans taking their own lives every day? I was steamed, and so that was interesting. So, folks, that's how they view your tax money. First of all, they don't view it as we the people tax money. It's their money. Don't talk like that to an appropriator. You're going to piss them off. Fuck you. Are you kidding me? How dare you? Oh man. So that was interesting. So that's how they view money, folks. No. Oh yeah. We'll talk. Maybe here's what I kind of left with, right? And this was good news. The House approved psychedelic research amendments in major spending bill. Guess what? Guess where good ideas go to die? The Senate. Okay? So the House has passed this the past couple years in a row. And Morgan is just doing an incredible job. He's the standard bearer. He's a veteran. He sat with the medicine. He's got this for action, man. And it's good. It was good to hear him because he said we're doing better than you're hearing, Whiz, right? So it's looking better. I'm like, okay, good. I felt better with that. But he's like, I bumped into Senator Cornyn from Texas at breakfast. I'm like, hey, anything changing? Going to be change on your end? He's like, meh. And the way Morgan did that, he's like, that's usually, we'll see, right? So we'll see if it makes it to the Senate. But here's what I think I left with. Senator Kay Granger, I flew Hornets in her district in Fort Worth, Naval Air Station. She's big appropriations. Let's manifest this, folks. We might get a full committee hearing, not a subcommittee on Veterans Affairs or subcommittee on this or whatever. We might get a full appropriations hearing, like no shit, Fox News type of thing or CNN. Well, they probably won't cover it, but all the congressmen sitting there, and then people like me testifying under oath about this stuff. Yay, right, folks? How many times in that town in Washington, after a shooting, right, a horrific shooting somewhere, what do some of these people froth at the mouth and yell it into a camera? We need to ban guns. Why? If it saves just one life, wouldn't it be worth it? Hey, leader, quote unquote, can I steal that sentence? If this therapy could save just one veteran's life, wouldn't it be worth it? So I use that a couple times, and they, didn't look at it that way. Yeah, no kidding, you don't fucking look at it that way. Because your sons, your daughters aren't serving, Mr. Appropriations Committee, dude. Guarantee you, folks, the limousine liberals and the elite in this country, their kids don't go into the military. It's the middle class or lower middle class folks, right? And anyway, a little jaded, but Morgan did a good job reassuring me, like, hey man, we're in the fight, okay? His brother, lone survivor. You're never out of the fight. So I get it. But man, it just gets frustrating sometimes when you have, 22, 44, 17, 1. Let's just use the number 1, right? Because I can't stand the debate over how many veterans take their own lives every day. One veteran taking their own life on a daily basis is way more than enough for this government to do something about it. I can't stand the whole, well, we could chew gum at the same time, can't we? We can send a ton of money to Ukraine and help our veterans. No, we can't. Clearly we can't. When a Ukrainian general's leaving this building with money and I'm leaving with maybe we get a hearing, fucking yay. Anyway, folks, so I appreciate your flexibility. If you're a current member with me going up to D.C. Wednesday, Thursday, because we didn't do any live trade briefs this week, but it looks like I had some perfect timing because, of course, the Dow on this monster 2-week, almost 3-week run, and, of course, I take my eyes away from it for 2 days, and that happened. So starting to see a little bit of a rollover in this market, finally starting to break just a little bit. But this also happened when I was up there. Did you see that the Pentagon is authorizing hazard pay for troops deployed to Ukraine? No, Whiz. Joe Biden promised U.S. troops would never be in Ukraine. Well, there are some troops at our embassy, right? I got it. Still in Kyiv or wherever it is. But when you dig into this, and I know for a fact, beyond a fact, that We have U.S. troops in Ukraine, folks, period, outside of the embassy. I thought this guy said that would never happen. I thought sending tanks would be World War III. I thought folks, what is the fucking end game here? Russia bad, Putin war criminal. Let me get all those disclaimers out of the way. Then can we start talking about maybe peace? Nope. Just more of a meat grinder. More money flowing out the doors as veterans at home die. Unbelievable and heartbreaking, folks. But, before I forget, do me a favor, go listen to my most recent podcast, episode 67. You can listen to it on Spotify, Stitcher, Apple Podcast, wherever cool kids listen to their podcast, episode 67. You do not need forgiveness. Your ego does. This is a good one. This was a really good one. You can listen to it working out or driving in traffic, or you can head to the No Fallen Heroes page on YouTube, and you can watch, if you want to see me rant for whatever reason, you can go watch that. Make sure you subscribe to the No Fallen Heroes YouTube page, and make sure you like the videos as well, so we can start getting our engagement up there. But yeah, so It was a God moment. Getting out of an Uber, walking past a Ukrainian general with a big smile on his face as I'm going in to battle appropriators. Don't talk like that. You're gonna alienate people. Okay, dude. Also, when I was gone, the GDP, growing. So everybody thinking that there's going to be a slowdown and everything like this. The Fed doesn't like this stuff, folks. Man, the economy is still good-ish. Even though it's baddish. It's just a mixture all over the place. It's really interesting to see this stuff. Layoffs here, no layoffs there. Inflation cooling here, but it's pretty rickety. And that's how this market top here kind of feels, right? Yeah, I call it a MacGyver market or a MacGyver rally. It's up here on, string, bubblegum, and straw. But it's we're a little due here for a pullback, especially with tech earnings coming up this week. Going to be a huge week with Amazon. A lot of the tech is this week. The Magnificent Seven that have powered this market higher for the past month and a half, and we called it, folks. I told you in June, or I told you the end of last year, in January this year. I said June. June's going to be a turnaround in this market, and it hasn't looked back, and we kind of nailed that. So really good stuff, folks. If you want to subscribe to the SitRep, if you're not currently subscribed, easy for me to say, to get these things in your mailbox whenever I do them, head to go.topgunoptions.com/SitRep. That stands for Situation Report, and you can get access to these for whenever I do them. Really good stuff going on, folks. Our portfolios are crushing it. Shot a couple snipers yesterday that were, $2,800. $2,800 in S&P trades yesterday. I think one or two of them yesterday. I can't remember. And then year to date, this is the weekly options model portfolio. I think it's like $150,000. But you can see all my sniper shots if you're in the Hunters. This is called the Hunters. And then over here in our Max Afterburner group as well. This is our trades only thread. And then this is our Intel thread, man. They're just beautiful sniper shots in here. Harry's shooting them. Steve, good group of snipers in here. Look at Steve. Total for the week, $29,000, folks. And this is our investment club, man. Going really, really. How many members in here? 200 and let me refresh this real quick. 241, I think. This thing grew from 0 to 240. What, in 2.5 years? Forget how long. March. Around the COVID crash, like March is when I started this thing, is when people were like, dude, what are you doing in the off hours? I said, well, maybe we start an investment club to look into that. So good stuff, folks. I'm excited. Going to be a big week of tech earnings. I don't know, my E-Trade isn't working right now, but going to be a good week. Make sure you sign up for the SitRep, and we're going to have some briefs this coming month, August, to get ready for the fall. Remember, February is the most volatile month of the year, and then August and September/October. So we're getting ready after these type of monster runs to maybe give some of this back. Look at the S&P 500 starting to top out a little bit there. Yeah, there's your June rip your face off rally, and little topish. We're going to see if tech which has been way out over at Ski Tips, can catch up to their prices. I don't think it. I think it's a buy the rumor, sell the news. And I'm going to be looking forward to a great week here at Top Gun Options. Okay, have a great rest of your weekend. Happy hunting. Make sure you had fights on. Namaste. Basi, which means truth. And I will see you, Monday morning if you're in solo Amazon. Okay, fights on, and have a good weekend.